Hi there, it's Gabrielle Nicolay from SpeechKids, and I'm back. I'm in my car, where I often am between clients, and today's Facebook Live is about lying. Shania asked such a good question last week, and I wanted to make sure that I took the time to really think about the answer and provide you guys with some good guidance on lying. So it turns out that all kids lie. They do it almost every day. And the research will tell us that adults also lie. We do it at least once a day. And if you're a college student, you do it more than once a day. So here's the thing about lying. It's going to happen. Okay? And the research is really clear on this. And if you want a great resource for this and other child development issues, there's a book called Nurture Shock. I'm going to show it to you here. There you go. Nurture Shock. Phenomenal book. Not a parenting book. It is basically a lit review of child development research. So the information that I'm sharing with you is based on the research that's being done in this area. So, kids lie. Okay, so once you take a breath and start to internalize that a little bit, then the question becomes not, how can I stop my child from lying? Because the answer is you can't. But what can I do about it when my child lies? And that's really where the important thing comes in. And it turns out lying is just like a great stand-in for most other parenting questions. And so the answer to what can I do about it when my child lies is the first and most important thing you can do is keep your cool, is to stay calm and to know that your child is trying to figure out what are the rules here. Kids know that lying is bad. They know it. And in fact, in one of the studies, it's like 92% of 4-year-olds knew that lying is bad. And the same percentage still lie. And so the question is, why do they do it? And the majority, the reason that most kids lie is because they're afraid, number one, to get in trouble, and number two, to upset us, because then we'll get them in trouble. And so your child, when they lie to you, is trying to protect you, and trying to protect themselves from a punishment, or they're trying to protect you from becoming too upset. Once you start to think of it that way, then you can have an indication of, ooh, okay, now I need to change my behavior as a parent. Because what if you were able to stay calm? What if you were able to say to your child, and I wrote this down because I wanted you to have like a model about this. I will be really happy if you tell me the truth, and I won't be upset. Now, if you can say that and make it be true, that is going to be your best way to handle lying. So it's a bit of a acceptance on your part that your child will do it, and knowledge that when you teach them that admitting to the lie is the way through it, then you will also teach them not to do it as much, because it's really uncomfortable and nobody wants to do it, right? But your child will continue to lie if you make it clear through your behavior and through your punishment of them that lying, that getting caught in a lie means you will be punished, right? Because when we send that message, we're just going to create better liars. And it turns out kids, read the chapter in Nurture Shock, because it's shocking. It was shocking to me how good kids are at lying. They can go several rounds of like back and forths about justifying their lie. And they will make stuff up you would not believe, and you won't believe because, as they progress down the primrose path, and you know this of your own self, right? When you have lied, and you have, the longer you get in it, the more you get in it, the harder it is to maintain, right? So you have to deal with the lying, but the way to deal with the lying is not through punishment. It's through understanding and letting your child know that the way to keeping you calm, which shouldn't be their responsibility, it's yours, right? But the way to maintain a close relationship with you, which is really what they want, right? Your children want to be close to you. The way to do that is to make sure that they know that if they have lied, that you know that they will and that they do, and that you accept them anyway, but that the way through it is to tell you the truth. And that, in fact, you will be happy when they tell you the truth, and they will not be punished. Now, when your child is 6 or 4 or 3, this is a lot easier to do. And so I encourage you to, to start this now, because when you've got a 13-year-old who is lying, it becomes a lot harder to deal with. And that comes with some other complicated stuff that I would refer you to someone else for. So, but Shania, I hope that starts to sort of answer your question. I encourage you to check out Nurture Shock, just to read about and make yourself, feel a lot more comfortable with the idea that your daughter is not atypical in any way. And you may just need to recalibrate your response, because that disapproval is something she really fears from you. She does not want to be separated from you. She wants to be close to you, and she will do what it takes to be close to you. And if the only thing that you give her, the only way in which you let her do that is by lying, then she'll do that. But she will happily choose another way if you provide it to her. So I hope that helps. There was another question that came up earlier today. I was with a new little person, and the parents said to me, is the difficulty that my child has around transitions purely behavioral? And so this is a little person who tends to be very shy in new situations, doesn't always want to go to her gymnastics class, for instance, where she goes every week and always has a fabulous time and really likes gymnastics, but often has a little bit of a hard time jumping into the new situation, right? Transitioning in. And parents said, is this just a behavioral issue? And here's what I want to say about behavior. When we say behavior, a lot of times what we mean is bad behavior or unexpected behavior, or behavior that I don't want or that we don't like. Yeah. So that's sort of the behavior word in the way that it gets used a lot with kids. A lot of times with kids with special needs, but also with typically developing children. So yeah, it is a behavioral response, right? We're seeing that she is resisting going into the class, that she's clinging to us. Those are behaviors. But the question about, is it just behavior, is the interesting thing, right? Because clearly she feels like she has to do that in order to get her needs met. And so I just want you to start to think about this notion, right? When our kids are doing something, when they're engaging in behavior, bad behavior, it's because they feel like that's the best way to get their needs met. And when we show them a different way, again, it's a little bit like lying, right? When we show them a different way, then they'll do that. But they don't necessarily know what the best way is. And so when we show them a better way, then they will use that. So what I would recommend in this situation, for example, for somebody who is having trouble jumping into a new situation, and I did recommend this to the family, I would say, what you might want to do is set it up a little bit before and then set it up again while you're in there. So for example, we are going to go to gymnastics. You will get there and you will put on your name tag and you will go to the mat and you can say hi to your teacher. And that starts to give your child a sequence of events where they know what's going to happen and they're expecting what's going to happen. So they've got a concrete alternative to, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to hold on to mom for dear life, even though I know I love my gymnastics class. So you can do that on the way to the class. You can do that when you walk in. Remember, you're going to get to go say hi to so-and-so. Give them that first step and see if that helps them jump in and see if that helps them reduce the behavior that you're seeing that you don't really want to see. Give them the alternative. Show them how it's done. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Bye-bye.